to the
I know
kitchen.
how to project.
We're getting bored already.
Come on.
Do something.
What are you doing and why are you doing it?
You don't need to help me with introductions.
We're doing a
Speak
project.
up.
We're doing a project about the Great Depression because
Okay, so me and Robin both had to do a project over Christmas during the Great Depression because we were being ungrateful for stuff. So, yeah. First up is Robin as I pull up my Google slide.
you said whoever goes first.
That's you, Len.
Oh, so I'm going first. Okay. Christmas during the Great Depression.
No one can see it. Not to get
Don't
taller.
drop it.
Christmas during the Great Depression.
Next year's present.
What was the Great Depression? The Great Depression was the longest economic downturn in the history of the Western industrialized world. What led to the Great Depression and what was the economical impact? After the stock market crash of 1929, the Great Depression began. It lasted for 10 years from 1929 to 1939. However, it took a while after to get going again. Many people lost their jobs and their money. By 1935, labor unions and welfare state
down.
jobs expanded.
Yeah, you're not from the north.
How did kids dress? Where did they get their clothes? How did they take care of them? And how many things did they have to wear? The girls usually wore dresses, and the boys usually wore a long sleeve shirt or t-shirt and pants. The women in the household took care of the clothing. Each person had one or maybe two outfits, and clothes were either handmade or hand-me-downs. What were stockings and where did they come from? The Christmas stockings were knee-high socks that were placed at the end of the bed. The tradition started and showed that the stockings were full of valuable items. It was a way to give valuable things to the kids during the Great Depression.
Hey, you're talking way too fast.
What happened on Christmas Eve during the Great Depression? Christmas Eve was spent like a usual day, and if you hadn't finished decorating, you would finish.
I'm just after my time. If you hadn't finished decorating by Christmas Eve, you finished decorating. It's kind of a start on Christmas Eve, so I'm a little after my time.
Nope, that's about the time they started to.
Christmas Day during the Great Depression.
No one can see it because she didn't finish.
I didn't call
Well,
it.
just tell us.
Move. Let me zoom in on it.
I'm going to be moving around though.
Don't move. Okay, you can move now.
Okay, so you would wake up and you would see if you had a gift, and if so, then what it was. And in the stockings, you would usually get an orange, some fruit, some raisins, and some nuts. And then if you had a gift, it would usually be, if you were a girl, like an apron. And if you were a boy, it would be a scarf or some gloves. And then these gifts were special just because some of the fruit wasn't available during the rest of the year, and most of the gifts were handmade by relatives. And then the tree, I'll get to that later. After that, you would go to church. If you went to church, you would get dressed and you would either walk or go on a mule-drawn wagon. And after church, you would go to a relative's house for dinner and to celebrate. And the men would usually be playing cards or talking. The children would be playing, and the women would be getting the food ready, like everything that people brought. And then, I don't know why I still
So they had like a potluck thing?
Sure.
Potluck.
If you're female. If you're male, you just went and had fun.
Okay.
Okay. Then some foods that you would have was, there were some food. There was chicken, some fruit, vegetables. There was bread, sometimes beans, and then there was a big bucket full of water with cups by it, and then plates. And then for dessert, there was ice cream.
And fruitcake.
They had ice cream back then?
Homemade
And
ice
cake.
cream. They made themselves.
And what games would they play?
Monopoly usually was the most popular.
Checkers. Checkers.
Wait, what game was the most popular?
Monopoly.
Checkers.
Really? That far back?
Yep, mid
Grandma?
1930s.
Wow.
Can you validate that?
No, I can't, because I don't remember Monopoly until you kids got Monopoly.
It probably wasn't Monopoly. It was probably Checkers or something.
Well,
We had
it
checkers
said
and
I have a
Giants
follow-up
checkers.
question to your presentation
It
when
said-
you're done with it.
it said Monopoly
Yeah.
was one of the most popular
Questions.
games in the mid 1930s.
Huh?
Yeah. It was brand
So
new.
you said that most of the presents and gifts when they got them were usually made by family members. Did you make something for your sister? Or did she make something for you?
No, because we did the project,
She's been part of the project.
but it wasn't.
What did you get in, did you hang a stocking at Christmas?
Yes, we took a regular pair of our stockings and we put a big safety pin between them and hang them over the back of a chair or something.
2 socks?
Yeah.
That's the best way to hang them.
What did you get in them?
1 for oranges.
For the clean socks,
Oranges,
Fruit?
Hopefully.
nuts.
hopefully
Candy.
clean socks.
Okay.
Alright, finish up.
And then if I were going to the Great Depression, I would hope for an apron because I would like to help my mother cook. I don't think I would get this because nobody else in my family had aprons except for my mom and she needed hers. The only way I would get one is if my grandmother made it herself. And then Christmas then versus Christmas now. Christmas then, the gifts would be fruit, maybe $1, some clothing. The gifts now is shop till you drop. The trees then was a pine tree from the wooded areas, and then the tree now is from the Christmas tree farm or fake plastic and colorful. Decorating, then you would decorate the week of Christmas. Decorating now starts in September.
That's true. Sandy.
Decorations then were handmade with paper or wood, and then you would string popcorn. And then decorations now, ornaments, lights, inflatables, signs, pretty much everything. And then the kids then were grateful for an orange, and then the kids now gripe about how they didn't get what they want. And then here's a picture of the trees then, and then versus the tree now. And then, who do you think was more grateful and who was luckier? I think the kids then were luckier and more grateful. I think the gifts meant more then because they could not be purchased on like any day. And that's my presentation.
I have something to say
Yay.
about
Go ahead.
You got your own presentation to do.
Oh,
Okay, any questions or comments?
Can I challenge you?
Ooh.
that. You
We
didn't
love-
have those questions on there
Challenge
yesterday.
London,
Yes, I
not
And
Robin.
she copied one of my
It's fine.
slides.
It's fine.
No, I didn't. What
Yes,
was that?
challenge. They love challenge.
Challenge.
You're not allowed to spend any money on gifts next year except for supplies to make them.
Okay.
That sounds fun.
Say,
So every
Robin
gift
said
you
no.
give someone,
We
you
used
have
to
make.
draw names and everything would have to be handmade.
Oh, well.
I'm game.
Robin goes,
we'll talk later.
well, American Girl hand makes their stuff in China in a factory.
Someone's making it right now.
So my question
Good
is,
job.
we're in the high-tech house of the Clarks.
Well,
Why
half
is-
of it.
Why isn't this on the big screen?
I was.
Wow, her picture's prettier. Look at hers is in color.
Because she had all the crayons. Okay, let's go.
She got 52.
So this, what?
Let's go.
Come on.
Ignore.
This is my project during the Great Depression. I drew the Christmas tree and stockings then during the Great Depression and now. Their Christmas tree was a pine tree from the wooded areas. And then their stocking was one of their socks that they used to hang either on the end of their bed or on a chair. And then now, usually we get a stocking full with like candy and I don't know.
What was your stocking this year?
And then
Rob,
What was your stocking this year? Last year it was a fuzzy, furry something, right?
it was still fuzzy. It was the
Was
same
it fuzzy
stocking, but
furry?
what was in it?
an orange and nuts.
Walnuts and pecans
And
and a whole bunch of candy.
And then Christmas tree usually gets filled with presents under. And then this is the decorations. They had a red ribbon from the corner store and popcorn on a like thread or bead, well, string. And then now we have ornaments, tree toppers, garland, and all that stuff.
I flunked ornaments.
And then
Yeah, when I picked it up.
this is my
They have no privacy. I don't know the password either.
slides. What is the Great Depression? The Great Depression was the deepest and long-lasting economic downturn in the history of the Western industrialized world. In the United States, the Great Depression began soon after the stock market crash of October 1929, which sent the Wall Street into a panic and wiped out millions of investors.
Good job.
What is the economical impact of the Great Depression? Great Depression, worldwide economic downturn that began in 1929 and lasted until about 1939. Its social and
I can't read that. Cultural.
effects were no less staggering, especially in the United States, where the Great Depression
Represented.
represented the harshest
Diversity?
Yes, adversity.
adversity faced by Americans since the Civil War.
You need one of those colors on your screen.
When did families start decorating for the Great Depression? They started decorating Christmas week. What kind of tree did the Great Depression have during Christmas? The Christmas tree was a tall pine tree from the wooded areas.
They had to go out and get it themselves. Chop it down, drag it back
On top of their car.
in the horse-drawn trailer, the mule-pulled wagon.
But they used
They could drag
popcorn on
it
a
out.
string and red ribbon from the corner store. What were typical presents? When they woke up, there would be a stocking, and it would be filled with candy, big red apples, oranges, and
Could they be green apples?
nuts, walnuts, pecan, and large Brazil nuts.
Out of season.
Might also receive a pair of warm gloves, a scarf, or a cap.
Could be cold gloves, right?
Or socks.
That'd be warm
Did you ever
gloves.
get socks for
What
Christmas?
made the gift so
Did you
special?
ever get socks for
Gifts are so
Christmas?
special because they did not get that on a regular day. How did these kids dress and where did they get their clothes? The woman sewed and did all the clothes, and sometimes the kids would wear sacks, or they would get clothes like hand-me-downs and stuff. Then boys would wear like denim. How did they take care of their clothes, and how many outfits did they have? Women did lots of housekeeping to keep the house and clothes clean. Most of the kids had two. Most of the kids had one, some had two. Christmas Eve during the Great Depression. On Christmas it was like a regular day, but at night they would get an orange and big red apple. Christmas Day. On Christmas morning they would get their stocking and look what was in it. And if they had a present they would see what was in it. What did they eat? They ate lots of fruit, apples, pears, oranges, and lots of other things. What foods are still shared today? What would I hope for Christmas I connected to? Sometimes pie and like chocolate pie or chocolate cake. I would hope for food and clothes. I don't think I would get that because during the Great Depression they got lots of hand-me-downs. New clothes. How is Christmas different now than then? Today, people get more things like toys and clothes, and during the Great Depression, they didn't really get anything. Are kids luckier now or then? Kids are more luckier. Wait.
Read what you wrote, and then you can say what you think.
Kids are more luckier now because they get more stuff.
You feel lucky?
But at the same time, kids were luckier then because they didn't get that stuff and they had lots of hard.
They were grateful.
Who is probably more grateful? Kids then because they did not get that stuff on a regular day. How can we make Christmas more meaningful? By being more grateful and spend more time with family and being really nice. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Yay!
Good
My
job.
challenge for you, Robin, is to write thank you notes for every Christmas gift you receive.